Hey guys, it's Dari, welcome to my channel. As you might already know that after living in Istanbul and Dubai, I moved to Tskaltubo town in the middle of nowhere in Georgia. And I realized that in my previous video, I didn't mention much of my thoughts of living there. It's time to change it. In this video, I'm gonna show you my honest impressions of living in a Georgian village and why I moved back to Tbilisi. And of course, I will share with you some of my future plans. So let's get it started. I can't expect the question why it's Tskaltubo and not Tbilisi or Batumi. Well, in fact, I firstly came to Tbilisi with my Russian friend with whom I've been living this year. But then unexpectedly, she decided to return back to Russia. And right now, the average price for one-bedroom apartment in Tbilisi is $1,000, which is super high. And usually this apartment does look so good, so it was very expensive for me. And I couldn't afford this, so I was feeling lost and didn't know what to do. And then my university friend Ilya actually wrote me and said that he has a house in the middle of Georgia, and right now he's living there also because of mobilization in Russia, and he kindly offered me to stay there. And I was thinking, well, why not? Ilya, you're really the best. Thank you so much for all your help. Some of you may start thinking that I'm gonna stay in Tskaltubo for a long time, but in fact Ilya invited me just for a few weeks until I figure things out, because later he needed to return back to Russia to pass his university exams, so it wasn't a place for a few months. It was a temporary place until I figure things out. Let me share with you some of my impressions. I was telling to you many times in my videos that I'm 100% city girl and I never lived in the village before in my life. So you might imagine my shock when I woke up at 5 in the morning from the Roosters scream. Yeah. I know that roosters are screaming in the morning, but then that was so loud. Honestly speaking, I was waking up at 5 in the morning for approximately 4 or 5 days until I finally bought the earplugs. And to be very honest with you, I think on the 5th morning I was holding a tripod in the morning before recording something, and they start screaming again, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm ready to give an interview. I never expect that my reaction gonna be like that, but yeah, actually I have a very light sleep and I'm waking up very easily. And the fact that I'm used, for example, the noise to the city, I'm not used to the noise in the village where there are animals. Do I miss you? Probably I won't. And friends, please don't forget to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Honestly, I'm incredibly happy and grateful for this experience living in the village, because I learned a little bit more about myself, and this is priceless. When I just moved to Tskaltubo, many of you were telling me to finally relax after all these moves this year, to get back my energy, to sleep well. Even my closest friends and family members were telling me to do so. But I realized that this is not the place where I can do it. Let me explain you why. I realized, probably one more time, that I need to live in the place which inspires me, which motivates me, and which interests me a lot. For example, I have a countryside house outside of Moscow, and actually in the last years I've been visiting it just for a few days each year. I didn't want to stay there longer because I just want to live in the place where I can do a lot of things, and I don't know, different things, you know, where I can meet with my friends and etc. And this is actually how I'm relaxing. Also, it was difficult for me to see how people treat dogs in Tskaltubo, and I think it's not just this village, but many other villages in Georgia, in Russia, and in many other countries. I mean, I totally get it that they don't have money, that the pension and salaries are very low, so they don't have money for good food for the dogs and medicine as well. Totally get it, and I know that this is my problem, that I'm taking it deeper to my heart, but I didn't feel emotionally good because of that. I feel a little bit, I don't know, like sad seeing so many abandoned and homeless dogs on the streets. Don't know why did it happen, because is the same situation all around Georgia like that?
Dogs are not treated that well here.
So is it like normal that people from the house just like letting dogs out and that's it? And now taking care of them?
Not quite out. They
Throw them away.
not throw them. They take them for a very long ride, like to another regional city, and drop them there. But most of them actually came back home.
This is so sad. Why did it happen? Because of low salaries?
Not usually because the dog got too old.
Too old, and that's
Yeah.
why they're throwing them away.
Yeah.
And also, I know that they're not being castrated, I think it's called like that, and that's why many of them start having puppies, and that's why the population getting even bigger, right?
Yeah.
So sad. You also mentioned that the government tried to fight with this, isn't it?
Not fight, but they vaccinated them, a lot of them. But again, it was a one-time thing. So when was it? And it didn't make much.
It's very understandable. But honestly speaking, I even wanted to cry sometimes after seeing that. And I know that this situation is better in the cities. And maybe some of you will tell me that I'm the kid and I don't know the reality. No, guys, I know the reality. I'm seeing the life in different countries. But this is my choice how to surround myself. And I really want to live in the place where dogs are family members. And it will be obvious to say that there is nothing much to do in this small town. There is one park where actually I was walking every day for a few hours, but basically that's it. There is nothing else to visit, no place to buy coffee, and it's cool to spend there a week or two, but this is not for me. Again, this is personal. It's just not a place where I would like to stay a longer time, so that's why I didn't consider to rent anything there and to stay there longer. And I think one of the most important reasons why I wanted to be back to Tbilisi is actually people. I have quite a few friends living here and most of them are YouTubers. And I felt a little bit burnout in YouTube recently, especially last month. So I really wanted to be surrounded by people who are in the same field, who can help me sometimes with the advice or video recordings and actually just who understand me and what I'm going through. And let me share with you probably the most important reason why I didn't want to stay in Tskaltubo longer than few weeks as I planned in the beginning. And it's actually something personal. Since I moved to Turkey this year in marriage, I start feeling that I kinda staying in one place and stop growing, and these feelings became, to be honest, only worse in this village. And there is nothing wrong with Tskaltubo or my friend's house, or of course my friend. This is just me, and I didn't want to feel this way. I felt dismotivated to do anything, even I couldn't read, and I didn't like this feeling. And when Zach the Russian, who many of you might know, offered me to stay in his apartment in Tbilisi for some time, I immediately agreed. So here I am back to Tbilisi and oh my gosh, I'm so happy. My first weeks here was super interesting. I was meeting with my friends. I went hiking a few times, one in the city and another one was outside of Tbilisi with some strangers that I met the day before, and they were super nice. They're from Belarus and we had an awesome time. Also, one of my first days, my Russian friend invited me to go to symphonic orchestra, which was also a very unique experience. I don't think I've ever been in such place before, maybe a very long time ago. Anyways, it was super interesting. And also I visited a conference for IT entrepreneurs, and it's definitely my cup of coffee. I really enjoy it. I feel like my real energy is finally back to me. I'm so happy about this because that's what I feel for the first time since February this year. before going to Tbilisi, I hope that this city will be a stable place for me for probably the next 6 months. Now I realize that it won't happen and I won't have a stable life probably until September this year. I was a little bit upset in the beginning about that and maybe a little bit stressed, but now I'm trying to look at this from another perspective. I'm young, I don't have kids that I need to take care for, and if not traveling the world now, so when then? Now I plan to stay in Tbilisi for a few more months, probably gonna visit some nearby countries, and then I will be back to Russia to see my family. Then, in spring, if everything will go as planned, I'm gonna move to another country. And if my huge goal that I've been working all this year very hard will work out, I'm gonna start a brand new chapter of my life in a completely new country. I'm gonna keep it a secret for now, even though some of you may understand what I'm talking about, but just wish me luck. So friends, it was quite a personal video, wasn't it? You learn more about the real me, and I'm actually very happy about this. I also hope you find out something new about Georgia and the life here. And I'll just say one more time, I'm super happy I had this experience living in a village in Georgia. Like, when I would do it in another time, I mean, probably would never. So many more exciting things are coming, and for sure I will share a lot of things here. So if you haven't subscribed to me yet, it's time to do it now. And as always, please don't forget to leave your feedback in the comments and push the like button. And let's explore the world together. Bye bye.